Hello, I'm going to make this first video. Um, it's going to be talking about me talking about what's going on with the bipolar disorder. And the way I want to format this is I'm going to take one subject and then go to the next and the next. So after bipolar disorder, it would probably be HS and then diabetes. Um, Sorry about the cat. Rude. Um, So I should start out by saying that this isn't something I normally do. I don't really like talking about myself um, in a sense where in a room full of people, I'm the center of that conversation. But I guess this is okay. Uh, it'll take some getting used to because I want to do streaming anyway at some point. So I'm testing out OBS, the recording style, and then if I can find the raw video wherever it saves it, I will definitely be uploading it to YouTube or Facebook. That I haven't really decided this because I haven't ever done anything like this, not this in depth anyway. So now that I got my mic working and then the camera, we're good. I am a little frustrated from that though, not gonna lie. Bipolar. So what has been going on? Why do I have TD? I don't know how to pronounce the uh, ailment. It is ailment. So I'm gonna put a link. Someone remind me to do that because I'll forget. So what it is in my situation, when you take too many SSRIs, I believe is the correct term, your movements become kind of janky. So like, there's this test we do when I talk to the doctor, and you'll see that my hands are shaking. That's because I'm on too many meds, so to speak. So they need to really find out what caused it. And I think I know what caused it. And I don't want to tell the doctor because I finally am at a point where, look, I mean, I'm finally streaming. I told myself I was going to stream the whole HS process, but I couldn't, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. But back to the bipolar. Um, I am going to get off track because of my ADHD. Sorry. I'm going to try. I promise. And I'm also going to try and keep these videos pretty short. I have a little timer in there in OBS. Thank you, whoever did that. So aside from that, because they put me on Wellbutrin, and that has been a game changer. I can concentrate way more at work. I don't do that thing where the words come out mixed up. So I sometimes will freeze up if I say, look at that brown dog over there. That's what I meant to say. But it'll come out like the dog over there or over there the dog. I guess it's again something I have. I was just developed I developed that recently, fairly recently. And again, that's why my speech is even on the Wellbutrin. There's no fix for bipolar disorder and whatever comes with it. There's no cure for it. And I'm assuming that also goes for the TD, for the everything really wrong with me because even my HS is my immune system attacking itself. So I am so screwed. Okay, I have to laugh. That is actually a coping mechanism I have against anything painful, not just physical. So if I randomly laugh when I'm giving blood or when I'm getting an injection, one of the many injections I get, that's why. So I was thinking of documenting my journey in this case with the bipolar disorder because this is the longest I've been without, how do I say this, without needing the grippy socks. We all have moments where nobody is perfect, nobody is born and they know everything and they can do everything. Even babies take baby steps to get to where they're at, like we all learn. So aside from the Wellbutrin, I am on Lamictal, and that is for the mood stabilizing. That I don't mind talking about. I don't mind talking about the TD with my hands, and actually I've caught myself doing the dishes today, and my tongue was doing this thing in my mouth, and I was like, "What the hell am I doing?" So I looked it up again. Being the hypochondriac I am, yeah, that's a symptom of the TD. So I was like, they're gonna take me off the Wellbutrin, and I'm gonna be so screwed. But you know what? We'll see if we can add more benstropine to it. That's what'll help stop the shakes and the tongue thing. I don't know. I'm probably a hypochondriac because I Google too much or ask the wrong people for advice or whatever. Um, so let's see what else with the TD. I actually, I'm gonna be honest. I've had COVID twice. I don't know how I survived any of them because my immune system is like non-existent. The first time COVID came around, funny story, not haha, just like okay. Um, I was on Humira at that time, and my Humira pin broke. I'd never seen that before that time. After that time, it's never happened, nor has it happened again. But then 2 3 days later, I manifested symptoms for COVID because Humira is weekly, so I would have had to take it the next week. And because I didn't take it, my immune system, I'm assuming, wasn't that impacted, so it could fight off the COVID virus. Um, and then the second time I got it, I started forgetting many things. My hair started falling out again. I gained all this weight because I used to weigh from my target. I wanted to lose 30 pounds, and I did lose those 30 pounds. Then I just stopped taking care of myself, and my A1C went through the roof, and my weight was. I did meet my target. I'm not gonna lie, I did meet the target, but I'm really upset that my A1C was at 10. I don't know how that happened. Um, oh, well, it could be, now I think about it, in relation to the HS, the options that you have are de-roofing, antibiotics in this order, and then an injection, a steroid injection to the area. And the last resort at that point would be, oh dear God, I forgot what I was talking about. Right, the de-roofing process. The steroids actually raise your A1C, is what I've heard. Not to mention that there's a small, I mean, minute chance of me taking gabapentin for the scar tissue that I have developed over the years. That can also raise A1C if you're that unlucky, which I'm thinking I was. um, I really hope that in time this will get more comfortable and I'm not as awkward. I, I really want to do streaming. I don't know what the hell I'm going to stream, but I'm going to do it. So I may as well start somewhere. So let's see. Now, fast forward to today, the Wellbutrin isn't helping with the memory issue, but I'm not doing that stuttering thing as bad anymore. The switching the words and the letters around. And I kind of had a feeling that this was going to happen because I had developed that with numbers. If you have spent time with me physically, you'll notice that I do things kind of funny when it comes to numbers. Like I will panic. I I'm not ashamed to say that I have difficulty with numbers, math in general, and it's not the formulas. So say, for example, I'm trying to do the Pythagorean theorem: a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I got it. But if you tell me to apply that to a specific number, I I just freeze. It's not that I can't do basic math, it's just that it takes me a long time to do it. This is why I don't like working with money or uh, Excel Excel sheets that like require the what are they called? The formulas. Yes, I hate formulas so much. I love Excel. Uh, yes, I acknowledge it is not a database. Oh, so I'm trying to get back on track. Sorry. You see, this is my life. Ow. And it's so frustrating because I'll have something super important to tell Nate or my mom, and it either won't come out or it comes out wrong. Even with the Wellbutrin, I'll repeat myself because I'm almost positive I said that already. Um, and again, if you're still here after 10 minutes, thank you. It means a lot that not that someone cares, because I don't do these things for attention. I'm actually not wanting the attention, which is literally why I'm doing these videos. And that fired spectacularly on me earlier because then everybody started sending messages, and I was like, oh dear God, let me just make the first video. So I I've always been the kind of person that doesn't want attention. And this can be corroborated with my family. I do the opposite. I will literally hide from people. I've been known to be in the closet um, and wait for people to leave, that a visitor or a family member, and I'll be like, I can't do it. It eventually will come back to me. What am I doing? Where am I working? Why aren't I working more? And I'm just tired of repeating myself. I'm tired of saying, I can't work. I know it's easy for people, and I have the simplest job in the world. My bosses are cool. They're super understanding, but I still mix up those damn numbers. I work at a storage facility, and I cannot go from one building back to the office and write down what the problem is or who the tenant is. If I don't write it down, between getting from building C to building A, which is not that far, the other property has like A through M, I think. Our property only has A through G. And my dumbass will still forget the damn number. So I have to write everything down. And my boss noticed that, and she was like, hey, I noticed that you write everything down and you're doing that less and less. And I was like, yeah, I'm trying to not have to rely on the medication so much. I had a feeling it was too good to be true. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh, this is the end all be all. This is gonna do it for me. And then the TD kicked in. And I'm terrified that if I tell the doctor that I'm freezing up physically or I'm shaking, I almost dropped my coffee this morning. I have to hold it with two hands. And if it doesn't have that, then I gotta maneuver and. I'll tell you what, though, I wouldn't wish this on anybody. Not even my worst enemies. I don't really talk to my family about what's going on upstairs. But see, I did it. Because it's awkward to do it in person. And I know they're going to have questions. I know they're going to have suggestions. And it's like, I understand it and I appreciate it. I really do. But this is who I am. If I could wish the bipolar away, I would. During my last visit, the nurse practitioner, because I don't see the doctor, my nurse practitioner said, you should really try Wellbutrin, and if it doesn't work, then come back as soon as possible. Or if you develop the shakes, or I do this thing where if I grasp something, I can't show you because I don't have anything heavy, and it's kind of like metallic or something, my hand will just it'll just not do what I'm telling it to do. Like, hey, hold the damn cup, or hey, hold the locks, because we gotta go lock the buildings. And since the locks are metal and the little latch is metal, and if I'm holding the cover for the tenant to not go in, I have been known to drop a bunch of them. That's why I carry 3 locks and 3 of the little plates. I I'm kind of upset that, and not at the same time, that I have these limits I have to follow. I have these rituals. I have these. Sorry. Damn outsiders. I have this little ritual where everything has to be done in threes. And this is part of the bipolar. You can have OCD with it. Um, the one that my boss noticed was when I lock the door to go out on property, do my rounds, or I have to go to the restroom. I lock the door, and then I do this thing because it's I don't want to use the term disabled. Someone once said differently abled, and I like that term. So it's for those of us who, you know, sometimes got to use our elbows. It's not the regular doorknob. And I had tapped it 3 times to make sure it was locked, and then I went on my way. And my boss was like, "Is there any reason in particular why you do that?" I'm not going to tell her, "Hey, I have OCD. It just feels like what I'm supposed to do." I told her, "No, it's just this thing I taught myself to make sure that the door is locked." And it really is, but I had to do it 3 times. And she's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good idea." I'm like, "Yeah, that's exactly what it is." um, Another thing that they told me I would develop, aside from OCD, is the ADHD, which is the talking fast, or sometimes I'll talk really slow, which I think I've done both in this video alone. I don't I don't talk much. If Nate's at work, then my mom is, and my mom is babysitting, and it's just me alone. And that's not a good thing either, because what are those intrusive thoughts? I just say that there's my conscience. That's what I call it. And they I don't want to say that. I don't want to say the voices in my head. I don't want to scare anybody. I really don't. And see, this is why I was debating on whether I should do this video or not. Sometimes I hear things that other people don't. And I think we all know what that name is for that ailment. I don't even like saying it. And if you haven't caught on, it starts with an S and it ends with a name. For that, I am on Abilify, actually, now that we're on that subject, which is another one that can make you do the shakes and stuff. So I hope they come down to it, and narrowing it down to it being the Abilify, interacting with the Wellbutrin, and I'll be like, hey, you know what? I'll listen to what's in my head. If it means I can concentrate at work, take away the Abilify. That's what I'm gonna say. It's not. Schizophrenia isn't like all the time, anyway. For me, anyway. That episode of The Simpsons where Ralphie sees the little leprechaun that tells him what to do and to burn the whole place down or whatever he says. Yeah. It's not always like that. Thank goodness that has never happened to me. I'm knock on wood there. But again, it's not something I would wish on anybody. And there's always a chance that it could even develop, because schizophrenia is under in the umbrella of bipolar. So it's bipolar. You can get a bunch of other stuff, and to understand, I had asked the nurse practitioners. This is where I was going with this. I apologize so bad. I had asked the nurse practitioner, "Hey, so does this mean I no longer have a diagnosis of bipolar? Is it gone and replaced by all these other things? Was I misdiagnosed?" And she says, "No, it's just one of the many things that can happen to you when you have bipolar disorder." I was like, "Damn." So that happened. That's happening. And that's what is weighing heavily on my mind. On the subject of that, I don't have that seasonal affective disorder, the SAD disorder. I don't have that. I can confirm that. But mentally, I was struggling a lot with the holidays. I won't go into why. I can tell you in a private conversation, but it brings up a lot of bad memories for not just me, but some of my family. So I'm glad to say that I worked through it. Literally, I was at work for a couple of days during the holidays, and I just plowed through that. And when I did that, I think I overdid it, not just physically, but mentally. I was like not prepared for that extreme sadness. And it was so gloomy too. I just wish I didn't get like that during the holidays. Unfortunately, I do. Lots of people do, actually. I found out. I did some research, and just this time of year sucks for some people. This isn't getting any less awkward. But yes, in conclusion, or coming to my conclusion at this point, getting there anyway, if you call me and I don't answer, don't think I'm ignoring you. I'm probably literally just off in my own world. To be honest, it started getting to me before I finished. It started getting to me around the time San Japan was um, wrapping up. Now, I'm not blaming the convention. I love it. Family is that's like my second family. But what I'm saying is, I was taken aback by the amount of people that knew me, and I was like, "Oh my God, I should know all these people." And I have this thing. I don't know where this developed from, but I've always had this thing where I'm bad with faces. I can remember your name, traits, attributes. I can remember your online name, your alias, whatever. I cannot remember faces though, and this kind of got to my neighbor because my neighbor next door, he got a unit with us actually. For privacy, I won't say names or where or anything like that. Um, and he was like, "Hey, it's you," and I was like, "Huh?" And I'm your neighbor, and I was like, and I had to look at the truck because I knew what vehicles he had, but I could not remember his face. So I was like, "Oh, yeah, you are. Hey, how are you?" And he's just looking at me like, "The hell did you do that for?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, I'm not very good with faces." So yeah, and it was the same thing in San Japan. If you notice that I was kind of awkward, or literally what happened in two instances with me and my friend, we would run into someone that we knew or that was stopping us to say hi, and I literally backed up. I was like, "Nope, not doing this," because there was too many people to begin with at the convention. I mean, we're talking about thousands here. So I was like, "What the hell do I do?" And if I did that and you saw me, or you're one of the people that I was backing away from, please, please, please don't be offended. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I'm not the best at social situations. um, yeah, that's the one thing I really am struggling with right now. I feel is the issue. Not even the shaking, the TD, nothing like that. I just don't want to offend someone. That's like my worst nightmare. Then again, if you hate me, there's a serious disconnect somewhere. Because I'm pretty chill, pretty laid back with acquaintances. I had my moments to just earlier trying to set this thing up. I was about to yeet the computer along with the mic and the camera. But Nate helped me because he started seeing the little flags like, hey, she's frustrated, she's raising her voice. And that's what it means to have a good support system. That they can catch these things and say, you need to calm down, chill. Uh, there's one more thing I want to mention before I finish. I try to live by making in my life. I try to live my life to where I make everyone as happy as possible. If it's within my power, I will. And because of that, I do things like blood donations. I give like $5, $10 to an organization. Um, I used to do tithing when I was in Mexico. They made us do that, and I was like, this feels good. So, like, give them the money. Not so big on that last one, though. Not today. But if I can, let me see if I can grab this real quick. Sorry about the mess and the noise. I like how it goes in every other direction except for when I need it in. Oh, 1 second. Oh, no. I lost y'all. Let's see here. I don't want to stop that. Let's see. Do that. Do that. All right. There we are. Really sorry about that. I'm not Frank the Happy Cat, the lol cat. I'm the, oh god, what is this? How did this get here? I'm not good with computers. That's me. Just don't ask me what my degree is in, because I laugh. So, coming to my conclusion, so you get a better idea if about me if you're close to me or you're my family or anything like that. I donate blood. I'm blood type O. So I got enrolled in something called Heroes in Arms. And the little logo says South Texas Blood and Tissue, transforming trauma care. It's this little thing here. And if you flip it over, it says, thank you for accepting the challenge to be a hero. And they give you this little metal thing. Please accept this gift of appreciation for your recent Heroes in Arms donation. It was designed specially for our heroes like yourself. I have a problem with that, because I can't figure out why people call me strong, resilient, a hero in this case. I cannot accept that for some reason. I feel like the opposite. I feel useless, incompetent, you name it. And when I do have a very serious episode of the SA word, I know I'm not saying it is probably not good, but I feel like the more I say it, the more true it's gonna be, and the more episodes I'm gonna have. So anyway, I don't feel like a hero. All I do is just do what I feel is right. I wish I were a hero, but I focus too much on my shortcomings. So, donate blood if you can. I don't know how to end the video without having people worry about me. So I'm just going to say how I feel as of right this second. I feel good. Everything got sorted out on the computer. I'm recording. This video is going to go up. And the next video I'm going to do is probably going to be on the HS. I don't know when I'll do it. I might even do it tonight. I don't know. It's already 9:14. I'm an old lady. I pretty much sleep really early. There is one thing I want to stress. Don't treat me with kid gloves. I know Nate had said something about me being on the equity committee. And that's all I can say, actually. I'm not going to say anything past that because I want to respect the privacy of other people in the committee for San Japan. And Nate had been telling a couple of people, like, hey, you can't joke like that. You can't say that. Don't say that because she's on the equity committee. She'll report you. I'm not like that. Now, if you do it during the meetings and you're a part of it and whatnot, we're going to have a problem. But don't treat me like I'm different. That is probably the only thing I ask. I want to be the same as everybody else. Yes, I have these shortcomings, these handicaps, whatever you want to call it. But
don't change who you are. Be yourself. If you're rude and you're ugly, chances are I'm going to leave you alone. But if you're putting up with it, putting up with me, and giving me the wrong idea, then I'm going to be like, oh, damn it, not this guy again, or not this chick again. Just honesty is the best policy. That's how that works for me. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Yeah, if you're part of my Stan Japan family, I hope I'm not scaring you. I really hope I'm not. I wouldn't hurt a fly, let alone someone from my team. Um, if you're family and you're watching this and you made it all the way through, well, wow. um, I can give explanations more in depth if that is something that you're interested in, or we could just not talk about it. Nothing else I can say about that. Now, my friends, I know people in Germany, Spain. I used to know some people from Japan, but I don't do YouTube videos anymore. So I lost contact with them. Actually, most of my friends I did. If you are one of my friends locally, please don't be afraid of me. That's all I ask, is don't be afraid of me. I'm not doing this to scare anybody off. I'm not doing this for attention. I'm doing this for the opposite of that, to educate, to help people understand what's going on in my head. So if you have any questions in regards to the bipolar, HS, or diabetes, ask. If you want to ask me, Google. If you don't want to Google, then you can ask me. I'm totally an open book. I feel that the more I divulge, damn English, the more I tell people about these things, the easier it's going to be to approach me. That's a theory I have. I could be completely wrong. I could be scaring people right now. Heck if I know. So just as a reminder, I have a Facebook. I'm going to try Facebook again because the reason why I left is because once those holidays kicked in, I was like, I can't. I don't want to think about elections. I don't want to think about drama that doesn't concern me. And I just needed to get away. Detox from all that toxic, super toxic fandoms and messages and this and that. And it's like, I'm freaking done. But I'm going to try again. Baby steps, like I said earlier, baby steps to try and get back to where I can feel comfortable with it. I was even gone from Discord for a little bit and I have my own server. But we'll see where I want to pick up the next video, if I'm going to do it now. But just to check in, I'm not wearing grippy socks right now, and I'm in my room. It's a freaking mess, but I'm here. If you need anything, if you have any questions, just let me know. Or if I'm busy, I'm driving, leave me a message, or in an extreme emergency, I do have emergency contacts that I updated when you go and get your license, your driver's license. And yeah, PSA, if you are Texan, go ahead and add some emergency contacts. I did not know that was possible, but being as sick as I am, I was like, well, I might as well do it, right? Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video, and we'll see where the other one will come in. If I missed anything, please let me know. I didn't mean to. Let's see what else. I need like a catchphrase. Something I could say at the end. Can't think of anything. Not even in Spanish. Yeah, and another thing before I forget. I was about to turn this thing off, but before I forget, I am technically considered ESL, English as a second language. So if I forget a word, or if I talk Tex-Mex, like mixing up the words, just tell me, don't do that. Or pick a language. Yeah, that's the only thing I've got to say in regards to that. If you would like to know more about the medication portion of that, send me a message. That's the psychiatry side of that. The psychology side of that is completely non-existent right now because I cannot afford to talk to someone for like $100 something for 1 hour. Is it worth it? Yes, totally. Is it possible or even probable? Unfortunately, not right now. Not the way things are. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we're gonna get this medication thing sorted out and see if I can get a part-time job and see where that goes. Thank you all for listening. I really appreciate it. I feel better for one, being able to throw this out. I'll probably be in Discord or something. Not serious. I want to see if my Sims game is updated, and I'll probably just hop on and do a Discord stream. So, y'all have a good night, and thank you for listening.